Hey everybody, it's Dipio. Welcome back to Dishonored. Okay, it is time for the final DLC, the Brigmore Witches. Now, I'm gonna say that I'm fairly certain I haven't played this before. I went through the whole Knife of Dunwall thinking it was brand new and then realized I had done it in the past. I don't recall the Brigmore Witches, but I obviously didn't recall Knife of Dunwall either. But I'm thinking I haven't played this one, which I really hope I haven't, because it would be fun to have like a brand new experience in here. Either way, it continues the story of Dowd. He dealt with his turncoat apprentice in the last few episodes, and in this one, I don't know. They're witches, I can tell you that much. And that's about it. So let's go ahead and jump in and see if I remember it or not. Alright, new game please. A save game of the Knife of Dunwall has been found. You'll retrieve equipment powers. Which do you want to use? High Chaos. Yeah, let's connect the two. That's cool. We'll stick with Veteran. Well, I don't have any previous autosave, so that should be a problem.
He knew. The black-eyed bastard knew that when my blade stilled the Empress's heart and delivered her daughter to the Lord Regent's men, everything would fall to pieces. He watched me do it anyway. And now the world's gone mad. Plague grinds the city down. Corruption rots. A mad killer roams the streets by night, seeking revenge. The overseers have stormed my hideout in the flooded district, and I'm in a strange duel with a mad witch named Delilah for the fate of the Empire. I'd say I was being punished, but I know that the world doesn't punish wicked people. We make our choices and take what comes, and the rest is void. I can't say I wasn't warned. It's been months since I killed the Empress, but it feels like only seconds ago I heard her yelling for her daughter, Emily. Corvo's face going slack with shock, and somewhere in my head the outsiders laugh.
Uh-oh. Is this Corvo?
Come to collect on our debt? Did you ever think you deserved to lose your Empress? That a better man took her life, while you gaped like a fool? Come on, Corvo. Prove me wrong.
Oh, is this going to be an alternate history version of things? Do I have anything? I have no bullets, I have a few darts, and I have blink. Woo! I think I might lose this fight. Is that Corvo blinking out of existence? Ooh. Whoop. Okay, I defeated him, but... What is happening here?
Damn it.
Sir, Thomas has returned with the information you requested. He's waiting for you below.
Was that a dream? Or have we been revived? What's going on here? Ports of Call. Excerpt from a guide to port cities across the Empire of the Isles. Potterstead, Bristol. A small town, but the locals are charming and the ale is unmatched. Be certain to visit during the month of winds for their peanut festival. Peanut festival! Peanut festival! Woo! Peanuts! Dunwall, Bristol. Notes on the capital city could fill a dozen such volumes. All delights exist in Dunwall if you've got the coin, and all miseries if you're broke. unless you're well connected through someone in Dunwall Tower, one of the key families, the City Watch, or River Patrol. Make sure your permits are in order. Otherwise, you're likely to have your cargo seized by the port authorities for any reason they care to concoct. Kilkenny Morley. While the harbour master here is particular about the kinds of goods you're carrying, the rest of the town is more lax. Be sure to visit the inn on the rock for the best mutton stew in all the Isles. Yarrow, Tivia. The cold here will snatch the breath from your lungs, but it is met in equal strength by the civility of its well-mannered citizens. The cozy taverns are kept warm by their famously crafted iron stoves, though the northern food takes some adjustment. Bejeweled aristocrats laugh and drink side by side with weathered, leathery-skinned farmers, clapping one another on the back until the dim hours. It's hard to make a friend here, or to truly understand the worldview of the native-born, but once you do, you'll have a friend for life. Caleros Circanos. This city is crowded in the warmer months, and for a good reason. You'll find yourself shoulder to shoulder with scantily clad locals and foreigners on holiday, pale skin burned pink by the sun, which somehow seems larger and brighter in Circanos. The food in Calero is a shining example of Conan cuisine, and there is always music, always dancing. Hand-rolled on the steps of tobacco shops, the cigars are of course fresher than the ones you've had shipped to other parts of the empire. Karnaca, Circanos. The jewel of the south at the edge of the world. The city is bustling with industry. After a wave of settlers from Morley and an influx of wealthy trading companies from Dunwall, everywhere you go in Karnaca there are new ideas, hybrid forms of music, groundbreaking theories of natural philosophy, and even extravagant delicacies made by mixing ingredients from all the known cultures. The locals work tirelessly for their coin, welcoming the elite from across the Isles. Interesting. Like a tourist guide. Oh, we're going to have lots of stuff here, aren't we? Cobbled bits of bone, excerpt from a journal covering various occult artifacts. They say my mother was a witch, but the truth, as is so often the case, depends on the perspective and your place in the world. She relied on poisons made from exotic herbs and the blowfish that live in the reef waters near Pandysia. Her powers originated in hallucinogenics delivered through guile or by force to those who crossed her. There was an unusual intensity in her gaze for certain, but it came from within, not from the outsider. It's what happens to anyone pushed to the absolute edge of sanity and survival, who stays there for years, then returns to walk among the sheep in so-called civilized society. My mother was crafty, but if it was anything more than powders, hidden knives, and guile, I never saw it. They, like they tell children, some of those truly touched by the black-eyed bastard can move through the space between rooftops like a sparrow. Others command armies of rats or poisonous flies as easy as they wiggle their fingers and toes. The overseers are right to fear us, to warn the common folk to stay near their homes at night and keep their families close. But there are other ways this influence manifests itself. Those who serve me share in some of what I can do, and I suspect it's the same for Delilah Copperspoon's coven. Then there are those who can craft runes and charms. The old woman across town, they call her Granny Rags. She carves and polishes the bones of whales, stringing them together and opening them to the void until they moan like the fever sick on a cold night. I found a few of her talismans, and with each one I touched, a tiny piece of me departed and settled in with her. What does she gain? A longer life? Some kind of power I don't understand? The making of such things is beyond me. I've known 4 people in my time who carried the mark of the outsider, but I've known dozens more who wanted it, who stood at night in stagnant ponds or begged with the dust blowing through graveyards. People who gutted farm animals or burned the flesh of men thinking it would call forth the void. I met a dying man once who had collected runes and charms for years. He crushed them all into a powder and made a paste and ate them, thinking he could gain whatever magic was in the things. His death was long and painful. I also knew a woman from Karnaca who would trade for charms and other bits of whalebone. She cracked them apart and fused them back together, then sold them. I bought one of these corrupted charms that she swore would cause sharp metal to break on my skin, and it worked. But each time it did, one of my teeth turned black and fell out. After the 3rd time, I gave it to one of my men. Now when he smiles, it's all bleeding gums, and I wonder what parts inside him are turning black. Sometimes I ask myself, without these gifts, would I be a man to fear? Would I be called the Knife of Dunwall, with my name whispered through the markets and the alleyways, the high towers and drawing rooms? I'd like to think so, but it really doesn't matter. As long as I bear this mark, I'll use whatever craft I have to force my will on the world. The harder trick is undoing what I've done. Interesting. Oh man, so many books. Alright, Regency and Emergency Powers. In a time of political upheaval, there are provisions in place for a staged transfer of power designed with 3 goals in mind. The first is the minimization of incentive for coup. There is no predetermined person or position within the government that is scheduled to take on the mantle of regency during a time of crisis. Instead, a regent is chosen by parliamentary accord. This serves to avoid promoting a path of derelict ascendancy and to discourage those who would scheme for such a turn of events. It is the assumption of our governing documents that such a legislative body will always have the wisdom to see through would-be usurpers. The second is the assurance of stability for the commons during and after the transitional phase. During an interregnum, I've never heard that word before. During an interregnum while a regent rules the land, there are categories of laws and decrees that cannot be altered without a majority vote from Parliament. Thus, daily life for the people will not change dramatically when, during the time of regency, or shift drastically once a proper heir takes up the throne. Third, and perhaps most important, is that a worthy successor is found. In order to rule out hasty action and to maximize stability, there will be no term limit or duration applied to the period of regency. Historically, rash decisions have been greatly contested, resulting in extended political turmoil or outright conflict. When the proper heir is found and the position is filled by someone worthy of the role, all others will fall in and provide their support. Alright, Reclamation of Dunwall. He is well versed on politics and travel. Excerpt from a pamphlet published in response to the plague. Dunwall, the seat of power in the known civilized world, the Empire of the Isles. It is our great capital, and it has been brought low by vermin. The very thought galls. We are forced with the reality that our once great city is in a state of shambles, and the few remaining domiciles in any habitable condition are the estates of those wealthy enough to ward themselves against that reality. A city cannot continue to thrive, populated by the upper classes and their cloistered sycophants. Even if the plague were gone tomorrow, in its present state, Dunwall doesn't have a hardy enough people of working age to return the city to everyday function. We must find a way to attract more residents, which requires the cloud of fear brought about by the current regime. Removing the cloud of fear brought about by the current regime. The Lord Regent and his lackeys are bad for business, my friends. So it falls on us. A plague and a tyrant must be overcome. And after that, we must undertake the third miracle, turning the screws on the obscenely wealthy, forcing them to pay back in the place that has given them their privileged lives. It is the powerful and fortunate who must pay for the rebuilding of Dunwall, even if the poorest will bear the stones and timbers of reconstruction on their backs. All this must happen for the dormant machine of commerce to restart. Without that, we're all forfeit, and the greatest city of our age will be lost. Alright, are we feeling smarter yet? Is there anything worth going the right way for? Nah. Is that one of my guys? Yes, this is all my guys, so it's safe. Is that my little... Oh, my little wrist rocket. I didn't have it on. What do I have options for? I don't remember everything for this guy. Void gaze. That's just seeing in the dark, right? Yeah. Oh, summoning assassins. That's right. Oh, I still get to keep the... Because I upgraded it in the last game. I don't think I want to mess with anything right now. I have how many runes? I have 2. I could do bend time. I could wait and summon more better assassins. I'll just hold off for right now.
Thomas finished his scouting run. When you've talked to him, I'll give you the latest word from inside the prison.
Okay. Why would... Oh, it's just telling me how I'm like, I don't need to drink a potion. The Whalers, excerpt from a journalist's report on organized criminal activity. One gentleman of advanced age swore that his brother had been taken by the Whalers, a notorious gang associated with the man called Dowd. According to Peter Mansfield, his brother Radolf was proud of working with the Royal Spymaster's Responsible Citizens group, feeling no shame in reporting on what he perceived as shady dealings by his rivals at the fish markets. But this might have been the source of his trouble. On the 6th evening of the month of Hearths, Radolf came storming into Peter's home, white-faced and panic-stricken, claiming to have been chased off by a group of ruffians wearing the leather suits and vapor masks used by the men working in the oil factories. Peter gave him a supper and drink, sending him on his way later in the night, after which Radolf was never again seen. So many books! It seems like we always start this game with a lot of books. The Isle of Serkonos. Excerpt from a volume on Serkonan geography and culture. Are we going to Serkonos? We've had a lot of Serkonos, lore dropped on us. Serkonos, the jewel of the south, is best known for its warm winds, spiced foods, and endless beaches. While the city of Calero sees the heaviest flow of travelers from across the isles, Karnaca, on the southernmost edge of the known world, is preferred among the elite of the empire. It's said that a month spent resting beneath the sun of the beaches of Serkonos, or within one of the rural villages, can cure most maladies. Travelers bring back recipes and styles from the south, and the dances that all Serkonans learn in their youth are favored in Bristol for their sensuality, copied by the fashionable aristocracy in the capital of Dunwall. The only persistent trouble in Serkonos originates along the string of tiny islands stretching away from the mainland to the east. For generations, pirates have hidden among this archipelago, raiding traders passed between the isles, and more recently attacking whaling ships returning with the rich stores of oil. Alright, let's talk to this guy, unless there's some... Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Hey, my goodness. This is an upgrade for our little wrist rocket. Alright, the Metaphysica Mysterium, excerpt from a longer banned work on supernatural ritual. It's said that we should not sully our hands when combating the forces of the void. My studies have been deemed heretical by my brothers, but the rewards have been invaluable. I've harnessed the same energies employed by the outsider and his accursed followers while avoiding their corruption. I will prescribe a twofold method in this text. Indirection, as the unwholesome powers of the outsider use living flesh as a conduit, we can avoid being tainted by using the flesh of others instead. Oh yeah, just pass the burden on. That's the much more civilized thing to do. Containment. By using channels and barriers, we can focus these void energies in a raw state, shielding them from the perverse perspectives of the outsider. And this is Thomas, I believe. Oh no. Oh yeah, it is Thomas. Alright, a recent journal entry written in a careful hand. And I'm just reading Thomas's journal right in front of him, and I guess I'm that much of the boss that he doesn't care. Our troubles began with a name, Delilah. A mystery given to Dowd by the face he sees in his dreams, and whose voice he hears when kneeling at the shrines hidden in the lost parts of the city. None of us have ever heard this voice, but we know its power. It spoke to our master, telling him of his coming doom and saying that solving this riddle was the only way to escape. We knew nothing of Delilah, except that we found a whaling ship by that name. A tenuous connection, but where the outsider's word is concerned, there are no coincidences. We discovered the ship was named after a woman who once walked the halls of Dunwall Tower with Jessamine Caldwin. Later she became a painter, an apprentice of Sokolov himself, until she snared an aristocratic patron named Arnold Timish. Timsh. We met with Timsh's niece, who offered us information on Delilah in exchange for eliminating her uncle. Removing aristocrats was our specialty, so our master agreed. With Barrister Arnold Timsh gone, his niece divulged everything she knew. Delilah was much more than a painter, and she was hiding in the old Brigmore Manor outside the city. But by then we were too late. Delilah anticipated our threat. For some time she had been working her corruptive influence on the best of us, the assassin Billy Lurk. Delilah turned Lurk against us, and together they sold us out to the overseers. When we returned to our hideout in the flooded district, we were swarmed by gold masks and hounds. But Dowd is quick and wise in our trade, and in the end he kept us alive, though there were losses. Now our resources are strained. Some of the men are grumbling. I see the strain on Dowd's face. Killing the Empress, handing over her daughter. Those are not easy burdens to bear, and Lurk's betrayal weighs on him heavily. His sleep is troubled by curses and shouts. Now we make preparations to strike back at Delilah. She's planning something in Brigmore, something that affects everyone in the Isles, and she'll be expecting us. Like our master, she shares her gifts from the outsider with those who follow her. How many are they, I wonder? I have no secrets from my master. Oh, that's why we can read. My loyalty is without question, but I fear these may be the last days of the Whalers. Perhaps the last days of Dowd. So, my last days, huh?
I found Lizzie Stride. Getting her to lend us her boat will be a bit complicated, however. She's in Coldridge. From what I hear, they've got enough on her to hold her for about 1,000 years.
Excellent. Lizzie has enemies inside Coldridge. If we play this right, she'll be begging to do business with us.
Ready to leave, sir? Or should I wait?
Let's go. There might be a reason to hang around, but I don't care. Whoa. I really did a great job. So I could have found a corrupted charm. I could have found more coin. I could have found a room. So there was some stuff to like dig around for, but we're fine.
Delilah doesn't leave Brigmore Manor anymore. She doesn't have to. Which means I have to come to her. The manor's upriver, far out past the quarantine line. I'll need a ship. I've lived in Dunwall's underworld a long time. I know the players. Gang leaders, madams, corrupt officials. But what I need is a smuggler who knows the river, someone I can trust. It's a reflection of Dunwall, or perhaps myself. That after all these years, the best choice I have is Lizzie Stride. And Lizzie Stride is in jail.
I think I've said everybody in this game is just as... they're like just the ugliest bunch of creatures. Favors. As Dowd, you can use... Oh, yeah, we know about favors. Boot stealth and arc mine capacity. Stun mine capacity. Arc mine extra charge and stun mine extra charge. Okay. We don't have a whole lot to work with here. Favors. Overseer Dowd, you're disguised as an overseer. Your contacts will intercept him and use you in his place. Okay. So that could get me right inside. Misplaced rune. Forge requisition allows your contact to deliver stun mines to the prison. Okay, I don't care about that really. Overseer is kind of a cool concept. I think we'll do that. And we can't upgrade jack squat right now, so let's go ahead. We have 28 bolts. We're good.
This should get me in the front door at least. Looks like I'll need to check in with those guards by the gate.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, look, he has to look at the mask too. It's not just a Corvo thing.
Overseer.
Yes.
About time, Overseer. We sent for you hours ago.
There was a problem with the waterlock.
Fine. Listen up. The incident took place in the interrogation room. Cross the yard and keep going straight. Anything else is off limits. Understand? Don't go exploring. Don't speak to the prisoners. We're not here to listen to you preach. Don't forget you're in Coldridge now, not the Abbey. We asked you here for one reason.
I'll be gone before you know it.
Interesting. I thought the overseers had more power than that. Apparently we can get bossed around.
Open the gate.
I don't need to eat your food. I'm doing just fine. Remember that an overseer has been summoned. Prisoner cells are off limits. Yep. It's just what he told us.
Move it along.
Yeah, these guys... I thought overseers were much more powerful in this world. These guys are all like yelling at me a lot. Construction report. Additional security installations along the execution yard wall are complete. Additional work on the main gate will continue through the coming days. All workers must show identification for the duration of construction. Attention, executions of personnel responsible for enabling the escape of the former Lord Protector will continue today. The execution yard remains off limits. All logbook entries must contain the prisoner name and the destination cell number. The logbook is in the guard booth between sections C and D. Do not neglect to log every prisoner transfer. Failure to do so is a punishable offense.
All cells in Section B are under quarantine.
You want the interrogation
notice.
That's where it happened.
Prisoners who have been transferred from Section B will be observed for signs of infection.
Remember to... Yep, that's logging. We just read about logging. We don't need more info on it.
This mask won't fool an arc
Sending
pylon.
men to the firing squad, and no one knows what actually happened.
Didn't they do it?
Hamrick drinks, and he chose.
Compact arc amplifier.
Morris lost his nerve at the sewer gates. Neither of them knew anything. They died to satisfy the Lord Regent's office.
And Officer Thorpe.
Thorpe slipped him the key. Everyone knows that. He got weak. They paid him off, but he couldn't tell us who it was. And believe me, he wanted to by the end.
You've seen Corvo train, haven't you? Once he had the key, there was no stopping him. And the way he went off that bridge? How do you stop a man who'll make a jump like that? Like he doesn't care.
Or like he's more than human.
You think he's
I think we played that overseer noise for a reason. I think there's more happening here than any of us know.
Don't remind me.
Personnel will stay clear of the interrogation.
I'm a normal dude.
Representative
prisoners getting in trouble? Maybe. It's hard to say.
So we need to sign in the logbook, right?
Can't miss it. None of the guards that went in to question her came out.
I'll be careful.
Yeah, that one guy did. We saw him. He was bleeding, but he came out.
Only
What you got here? Keep the Hatters away from the eels. The one in Section D, Cell 11 tried to attack that former dead eel leader again. We can't afford any additional investigation. Excuse me. We can't afford any additional investigations or mistakes right now, so keep them apart.
personnel beyond this point. No exceptions.
Plague.
Yeah, if I didn't do this, how would I get through here?
You're free to go. This is the Abbey's problem now.
Do whatever you need to do. I'm not sticking around. And don't leave any, what do you call it, black magic lying around. I don't want to be cursed or anything.
Can you just leave that laying around?
What happened here?
Dude. Dude! There's a lot going on here. Brigmore chest key. Document request. Dear Officer Ashfield, I would like to most humbly request access to documents concerning the new experimental choke dust which you may have recently found yourself in possession of. I understand this is a delicate subject matter, and I assure you every precaution will be taken with the documents to ensure they remain confidential. If access to these documents is agreeable to you, please have one of your men deliver them to my cell. Respectfully, your friend in A25. Okay. Interrogation log 425. Prisoner, let's see, collaborator of theft and goods. Heated metal bolts applied to feet. Ow. Promising response, but then the subject lost consciousness due to shock. Confession to vandalism. Sleep deprivation. Disorientation was the outcome. Goal, location of a weapon cache tied to attacks on river patrol checkpoints. Water tank. Tank mechanism malfunction, subject drowned. Gold, name of conspiracy organizer. Engagement with phobia, spiders. Subject divulged the information before the hatch to the spider basket was even open. Yep, that'd be me.
Is she strapped in right? Good. Doesn't look like much, does she? Comfortable? All right, we'll get this done. Let's start with how you got into Dunwall Tower in the first place. Was it one of the servants that let you in? One of the guards? Nothing? All right. Corporal, use the hammer. That's right. The smaller one. Can't really tell if she felt that. Don't want to break anything. Let's try again. How did you... Wait. You hear a kind of ringing in your ears? What's happening to her face? Is she going to... Oh no! Oh no! Shoot her! Shoot her! Shoot!
Was that black smoke always moving right there? I don't remember. Alright, transfer orders. Lieutenant Wright, the hatter we brought in was trying to stash this loot in the canal when we busted him. Looks like he's the one who hit Lord Bremen's carriage a few nights back. So far, he's not named his accomplices, but he will once he gets his turn in the interrogation room. Document everything and then deliver it to the Lord Regent's office, and make sure none of it gets lost along the way, or it's both our heads. Oh, sorry for your heads, guys. Is this just smoke supposed to be like from her burning? Either way, that's creepy, dude. So now what? Can I go through here now?
This area is off limits. Keep moving.
Can I buy your ration of elixir from today? Shut up.
So,
Head directly across the yard and through the door. It's in the interrogation room. And don't forget, the rest of the prison is off limits. Don't get caught wandering around.
Right.
I just went in there. There was nothing else in there for me.
I'm not saying it would be easy, but I could do it once the cell doors open.
You? How?
Only prison personnel.
This disguise won't help me if I'm caught in the restricted wing.
Oh, whoops. Sorry. Yep, I saw it as soon as I did it. Let's go ahead and,
Radio interdiction.
I am not fighting this whole prison. I'm gonna die, so we'll just let it,
Only by personnel trained in proper
I saw the little flash of you messed up right as I did that. Yep, that was my fault. Okay, we collected everything in here, right? Let's make sure. Nope, gotta redo it. This won't take long. I will take the rune. And then all your treasure, your wonderful treasure. Okay. So, go ahead and play it again. I don't care if I have to listen to it or not.
Good. Doesn't look like much, does she?
There's nothing I can do in here, right?
Comfortable? All right. We'll get this.
I didn't think so.
Let's start with how you got it done.
But I really have to be careful because I don't know when they'll come after me.
All of these sections in quarantine.
They just kept getting sick. You want the interrogation? That's where it happened. Rats. The water.
I just, why does everyone keep telling me
Disguise won't
that?
help me if I'm caught in
Nope.
a restricted wing.
No. Okay. Woo, good, good. You get a little grace. A little grace. You can tow into the next area.
How did you...
Hey, what? To arms! Hit him!
Why? 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 Because I ran? Oh, you gotta be kidding me, Pyle. They take no running in the halls really seriously here.
Didn't they know?
Alright, well, let's pick this garbage up one more time. Brigmore chest key. See, that key means something, but what? Is there a chest I'm not seeing? Or is it located somewhere else? Like, did I get what I needed by being here? Let's try and leave again. One last time. I won't run. I won't so much as deviate to the left or the right. I'm here. I'm gonna walk out of the prison. See? See, I'm just walking.
Head directly across the yard and through the door.
I've already been in there.
Interrogation.
Shut up.
Don't forget, the rest of the prison is off limits.
Don't need to talk to anybody. I got my special key. What is it telling me here? Interrogation log. Oh, do I have to? I gotta hit play again, apparently. Now, I'm gonna try. This is dumb, but I'm gonna try running again. I'm gonna wait till everyone can see me, and then I'm gonna run.
Is that it?
Okay, you didn't care this time.
They just kept getting sick. So we
Why did they attack me that last time?
Is she strapped in right? Good. Doesn't look like much, does it?
Anyone
Alright.
see the problem with this?
Yeah, why did they gang up and stab me to death for running last time?
For some black magic nonsense?
Now I'm just tra-la-laing right through here. Nobody cares. Okay. Alright.
Where's the interrogation room?
straight through the yard. No turning. We're watching.
Okay. I've been in and out of the interrogation room like 500 times now. So I'm going to take a break right here. And when we come back, we'll figure out what the heck these guys actually want me to do. Because they keep sending me back in there, but I have yet to see what's expected of me. So I'll figure it out, and we will pick up next time and see if we can't get out of this prison. This weird, unruly prison. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you back for the next one. But until then, take care of yourselves.